All right, folks. Dennis Gillen, Executive Director of the Half a Sorrow Foundation, where a shared joy is a double joy, a shared sorrow is half a sorrow. Let me share your story today. There's joy and sorrow in this story. There's both. It's a story about my father, Marty Gillen, and it dovetails nicely into what I do in suicide prevention because pride kills in my business. What do you mean by that, Dennis? Well, 80% of all suicides are men. I lost two brothers, and it's seriously a pride issue. We won't ask for help. And I'm going to use my dad in this story because it was a pride issue, and I get it honestly from him. Sometimes my pride gets in my way, but I'm also a storyteller, and you all need to hear this story because there's a great lesson in it for all of us. First, my father, as he was aging, he lived, born in 36, died in 2019. You could do the math real quick, 83 years old. He had just celebrated his 61st wedding anniversary and then died the next day. Prior to his death, the man was full of pride, but he's also full of sorrow. He buried two sons, my brothers, Mark and Matthew. I'm just a brother. He was the dad. It had to be brutal. I don't even want to go there. So as my dad got aged to 83, he sort of lost some of his mobility. And, father time is undefeated. It's going to happen to all of us. And we were begging him to use a walker or a cane because he walked really slow and he would cramp up. One time I got tickets to go see the Masters golf tournament, and we're in the parking lot and we're walking and he starts cramping up. I'm like, oh, no, no, no. The gate is like right there, Dad. I was ready to throw him on my back and give him like a piggyback ride. But it was, he suffered from intermittent claudication. He cramped up and he couldn't walk very well. And as you get older, that just progresses. It doesn't get better. It doesn't like you turn 80 and you start running marathons. It just gets worse. Something we all get to look forward to. So towards his end of his life, the mobility really was an issue. And we kept saying, Dad, use a walker. Dad, use a cane, use something. And he wouldn't listen to us. So one day, he did get the handicap tag, though, in his car because he knew he had to park close to any store or anything. So one day, he lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, at a place called the Cape. And right over the bridge into Carolina Beach, there's a Food Lion on the right. So one day, he goes to Food Lion and he parks in a handicapped spot. He had the placard. There he swallowed his pride and he got it. I'm shocked that he got that thing, but he got it. And he starts shuffling into the store real slow. And there's a guy sitting there with a pickup truck. He's hanging out and he comes up to my dad. He says, Sir, are you a veteran? And my dad, yeah. My dad served in the U.S. Army, Korean War, infantry. And he goes, yes. He goes, well, I got something for you. And he hands my dad a cane. There's the handle. He hands my dad a cane, and on it says, Wounded Warriors Project. He goes, hey, you may want to use this. And sure enough, the son of a gun used it all the time. See, veterans love to take advice from veterans. It's just their thing, man. They do. They flock together. And it's awesome to see. He wouldn't listen to my mom. He wouldn't listen to his kids. But sure enough, a stranger in a parking lot who also was a veteran hands him a cane and he uses it all the time. We were just grateful that somebody got to him. There's no jealousy here. We're like, thank you, kind stranger. You gave my dad a cane. And it had that little emblem on it, Wounded Warrior Project. So now he's using the cane, and things get worse, and he ends up using a walker, and then he gets bedridden, and then we lose him on September 1st, 2019. So when we're going through the house, and you get older, your parents have stuff, and you have stuff. I didn't need anything. So they said, "What do you want?" My mom was kind enough to give me his car, which was really nice because I did need, and now I drive around with my dad's car doing my brother's work. I'm going to cry thinking about that. Doing my suicide prevention work in my dad's car. Really cool. And every time I get in the car, I think of him. Every time. It's a 2011, 2026, 15-year-old car, but it's awesome. I got his car, and then my mom was like, what else do you want? Mom, I'll take the cane. I have it. So I take the cane and I put it in my house. Just a reminder, my pop, I do have one of his old Irish hats, and I do wear it now because it's cold out. So the cane is in my house, and my loving wife, I'd gone through a divorce. I had to tell my dad about the divorce. He loved my first wife. And boy, he didn't have time to fall in love with my second wife. She's awesome. But he did get to meet her. He saw me happy again. So that's really cool. And then we got married after he passed, a couple months. He knew I was engaged, though. He knew I was engaged. So my lovely wife, we have a small house. She's cleaning the house, and she knocks over the cane, and it breaks. I'm livid. I'm livid. But we look at it, it's a clean break. I'm like, Christine, I get all mad. I did inherit that from my dad, and maybe it's an Irish thing, the Irish temper. I blew up a little bit, and every time I blow up, then I feel like crap, and I apologize. It's awful. I'm working on it. 62 years old. I know, I look 61, still working on it. So I get the cane, I glue it back together, put it back in its spot. It's right near my front door. When I leave the house, I see my dad's cane. All right, cool. I think of my dad. Well, a couple months later, my lovely wife knocks it over again and it breaks. Now, I'm super pissed because I fixed it and she broke it again. I was actually using it in some of my presentations when I talked to military folks about how veterans stick together. And I don't know if you've ever done this, but you ever dropped a baby? No, but you ever watch a baby get hurt? I have two boys, and like a baby will walk into like a coffee table and you know it hurt. And you're sitting there and the baby goes like this. They breathe in because they're about to blast you when they cry. We've all seen it happen. It's funny to watch when they're okay. But they're like, here it comes. And you're like closing your ears. Here comes the storm, or you're running over to pick up the kid. You know you're going to get it. I'm actually doing that on the couch. I'm like inhaling because I'm going to blast this woman I love. It's always the people you love that you end up hurting. It is. They just happen to be in the periphery, and hurt people hurt people. I'm hurting. Lost two brothers. I got issues, right? And I'm breathing in, and my wife says this. She says, I'm sorry, Dennis. It seems like everything I own is broken a little. And it took the wind. I'm crying. I'm tearing up thinking about it. Here I am breathing and ready to blast her. And it took the wind out of my sails because you know what? She owns me. My heart belongs to her. She's got me wrapped around her finger. I love that woman. Everything I own is just a little bit broken. And this rant that I had built up inside of me, poof, gets deflated. See, I'm broken. I'm broken. We're all broken. We're all a little bit broken. And I just sat on the couch. I said, all right, don't worry about it. I'm still a little mad, but it dissipated. So I showed you the handle. The bottom part is gone. It's actually in my closet. And one day I think I'm going to glue it back again. There's the glue from the first time. But now it's on my desk. It sits here to remind me that I'm broken. And here's the kicker for all of you. We're all broken. In some way, shape, or form. Nobody's perfect. We had one perfect guy and we nailed him to a tree years ago. Nobody's perfect. We're all broken, and everything we own is a little bit broken. My wife owns me. I'm a little bit broken. And when you're broken, be careful. Because I said it earlier, hurt people hurt people. When you're broken, you'll lash out, and often it's the people that are right around you. And who's around you? Friends, family, lovers. They're in the periphery and they get tongue lashing. I can ask my boys, ask my ex-wife, my temper. I can do it. There's my boys right there. I can do it. And there's my brothers right there. So be careful, give yourself grace, and know this, that everything you own is a little bit broken too, including yourself. That's today's story. Thought you'd like to hear it. Dad, I miss you.